I took a successful career in marketing, 20 years of climbing the entrepreneurial and corporate ladder, an arsenal of paying clients and skills, and I burnt it all down. Because quite simply, I started to think I was going to die if I spent another minute glued to my keyboard. But let me start from the beginning. My name is Kelly Doody, and I am a realtor here in Calgary, Alberta. I grew up in the deep south suburbs of Calgary, in the lake communities of Midnapore, Sundance, and Chaparral. My dad came from modest beginnings in Bowness and Haysboro, raised by his single dad and grandfather, a World War I veteran and survivor, who arrived in Calgary in 1914 as a farm laborer. My mom came from equally humble beginnings in Saskatchewan, although her dad, Jack, played for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, which is pretty cool. And like many parents of the 80s and 90s, mine got their start in Woodlands and then Deer Run before venturing even further south to the master planned community and man-made lake life. We had skating, tobogganing, and swimming right out our back door. It was paradise in a cul-de-sac. But at 17, I left home for school in Vancouver, where I swam for UBC and the Canadian national swim team. And after hanging up my goggles, I worked formative marketing and media jobs in Toronto and Montreal before landing back in Calgary as a journalist for the Calgary Sun and the Calgary Herald. And spending a decade away from this city allowed me to see it through fresh eyes and to understand what people meant when they referred to Calgarians as fiercely entrepreneurial, doers and dreamers, not to be told what they could or couldn't do. And I took this as permission, maybe a destiny, that I should also be building things, scheming ideas, launching companies, hiring staff, building teams, and depending on the day, crushing all the things all the time. Until I wasn't, and I couldn't. I had owned the businesses, built the network, had the kids, bought the homes, done the renos, survived the pivots, and I hit the wall, not just once. And the scariest part of it for me was that I'd amassed some pretty powerful digital skills over the years, all of them handcuffing me to a computer, and I'd lost sight of what other employable assets that I had until I stepped off and I leaned out and I remembered that connecting with other people in the flesh is what I actually care about. Connecting and unpuzzling who they are and what makes them tick, and then helping pave a path that gets them to where they want to be. That is what lights me up. And in fact, navigating and deciphering that puzzle is where my skills actually lie. Hearing the words and plans and then pouring every ounce of my brain and my hands into the brand and the story and the positioning and success of that person or that company. Now, the side note here is that real estate has also always been my crack habit. I couldn't love homes and houses and flips and fresh paint and the promise of it all more if I tried. For me, MLS is like my Tinder. It's so full of adventure and opportunity, a whole new life just waiting behind a door. So midlife crisis, I finally gave myself permission to go all in on real estate. And now I wake up every day and instead of feeling depleted, I feel overwhelmed with joy. I get to help people, the most incredible people, buy and sell and invest in their own dreams and properties and promise like it's my lifelong calling, because it is. I've been on every side of the real estate equation and the industry here in Calgary. From the first home I ever bought in Killarney to investment condos, new builds, renovations and flips from Edgemont to Wentworth, Inglewood to Auburn Bay. I've helped developers launch and sell communities. I've branded new condo buildings and housing projects, and I've taught brokerages and agents how to market themselves and the homes that they sell. And the more that I worked at arm's length in the industry, the more I wanted to be in it, like right up close and personal, meeting, connecting, and partnering with people every single day. So I got my own real estate license. And now I get to work with people from all walks and ages and places to buy and sell and invest or relocate to this place that I love so deeply. Because Calgary is amazing. It is so full of life and promise and potential, and it always will be. It's like in our DNA. And I haven't felt so inspired in a long time. the kind of excitement and adrenaline where ideas just flood your brain while you're in the shower and wake you up at 3 a.m. and you have no choice but to start your day because there's no chance you're going to rein it back in. I'm finally running again, not dragging. And it's because of this work and the big dreamers I get to work for every day, discovering their needs and desires, mapping their path to a win, and pulling out all the stops until we get there. That is my jam. But enough about me. Wherever you are in your journey, be it life, work, family, real estate, I'm here and I'm ready for you. And you can find me at any of the places in the description below if you want to connect. And I'd love to have coffee or a chat and see what kind of magic we can make together. I'll talk to you soon.